That and a few other issues we are set to discuss with our guest this morning, Otumba Pedro, who is a former deputy governor in Lagos State. He is also a member fundraising directorate of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, and he's also a former MD of Commercial Bank in Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
Now, I don't know who's copying whose attire this morning, but let's just say that I came here first, so.
It's just a coincidence.
Yeah, first of all, let me ask you, I mean, you've been seeing the campaigns of your party. What would be your rating of, I don't expect you to say it's bad, but compared to other political parties, what would be your rating of your party's position so far?
Very impressive. Given the fact that of all the candidates, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has traversed the entire length and breadth of this country. He's visited practically every state. He's held town hall meetings, rallies, private meetings, public meetings. He's been very energetic, very focused, and very determined. He has shown the kind of, the type of president he will be when he eventually elected as the president of Nigeria. He's going to be in touch with the masses.
Well, you've worked with him, and there are those who would argue about, I mean, there has been that talk that you are not unaware of about his health, his capacity to, govern, especially at a time like this. The number of people have, debunked that from your campaign, saying it's not the way it is, but the campaigns are genuine, wouldn't you say?
Not at all. I was with him 2 days ago, and I spent practically hours with him, with a number of other leaders. We visited him in Abuja, and I was really pleasantly impressed by his energy, his vigor. Asiwaju is very, very fit. He's fitter than me. When you look at him, he might look like, somebody who is frail or anything like that, but he's very energetic, he's very fit, he's well, he's not sick. And you can see that on TV. He's been everywhere. He has not been hiding. Yeah, people say he has not debated, but he's done more than debating. He's met with Nigeria Economic Summit Group, organized private sector, town hall meetings in Kano, in Cross Rivers, in Lagos. He's been everywhere. You've seen him, he's spoken, and nothing wrong with him, absolutely.
Some would say that the physical fitness may not necessarily be a factor, but there are concerns expressed about his cognitive abilities, following some slips, shown at, some meetings, campaigns where he's, said some things rather than what was expected, and some who have interacted with him on close range expressed concern about temporary loss of awareness of where he is and all of that. And that speaks to a certain, perhaps the most important level of capacity, to govern, speaking to the intellect. What are his campaign managers, you being one of them, saying in defense of this? Or how, will this affect the presidency should he win?
Let me assure you, Asiwaju's cognitive skill is perfect. He has no problem at all. Most of what you hear or read are doctored. That is a narrative being presented by the opposition to tell Nigerians that the man is not fit. We that are close to him, and Nigerians in general see him, his supporters know that his cognitive abilities are good. You have nothing to worry about. He might have made 2 slips here and there. Everybody does that. The other time, Ayu on national television said PDP should be rejected. It didn't mean PDP, of course, but it was a slip. When you're on a campaign trail, the pressure, the noise, the gravitas, the general rally atmosphere, you can easily have a slip of tongue. That is not unusual, and it's not unheard of all over the world. But I'm telling you, take it to the bank. Asiwaju's cognitive skills are perfect. He has no problem at all expressing himself. He does that every day of the week.
And should this be, by the opposition, it would have been expected, because the opposition is out to say all sorts of things, that would impact on the chances of the other party to win. But some of these things are being expressed by people who can be described as leaders of the party, strong members of the party.
That's not correct. That's not correct. The lady, the woman who came on TV, I think she came to your studio, Najatu. You know that's bad belly. She left the party, joined PDP, and of course she's been put forward to express that view. That view is wrong. Other people have come to your studio, to debunk that story. That is not true. Asiwaju is well. He's fit, he's healthy, he's ready to govern, he's ready to hit the ground running from day one.
Well, you've been in government, and one of the major concerns, and of course you have also worked, as MD of a bank. So the natural concerns about the Naira crunch is definitely something that is concerning. I don't even know how to put this question to you, because you've been deputy governor, you are a member of the fundraising directorate of your party, you have been MD of a bank. So what do you make of the whole hullabaloo about this stifling of the economy with this Naira swap, CBN's Naira policy, and its impact on your campaign?
Let me first of all express the feelings of our candidates, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's not really about me, it's about him, about this Naira crunch. He feels the pains of Nigerians, particularly the masses. He feels the pains of small businesses, the housewives, the artisans, the man and woman on the streets, what they are going through now. Nobody is happy about it. Nobody will wish it for this country at this point in time. And Asiwaju has expressed that. I was with him 2 days ago. He feels the pain deeply. Feels that if he has the power and the authority, he will do things differently as we speak. However, he has also advised, based on the decision of the Council of State meeting, that the old Naira note should run pari passu with the new currency until such a time that the new currency is available enough for the entire Nigerian economy. As it is now, it is not. And we don't want to see people suffer unnecessarily, and it stifles the economy of the country. If you measure our GDP in the last 1 month, it must have shrunk by some percentages because of the reduced volume of business activities being experienced by people based on the Naira shortages. So I do hope that things will ease up gradually over time. Asiwaju has even brought out a proposal publicly that both the Naira, the old notes and the new notes should be allowed to be legal tender and available for Nigerians for the next 1 year until things ease up, so that people will not suffer. It pains him that some people wake up daily and they will not even have money to feed themselves. Children are hungry, and that's not what we want. Well, so I agree with you absolutely.
If I picked out, one of the points of, part of the question my colleague raised is, how is it affecting your party? And if you could relate it to the politics, between the two leading parties. In the papers today, the PDP is saying that APC is hoarding notes. And, at one of the campaigns over the weekend, the president of the campaign council of the other party talked about how APC is importing even fake notes to deceive Nigerians. APC wants to, conduct vote buying on a large scale. So this new Naira crisis, the Supreme Court ruling, now that the old notes, according to the Supreme Court ruling, will be existing with the new notes side by side, how is it going to impact the vote buying component of the policy, which it was supposed to deter? And amid all that, I'd like you to respond to the opposition's accusations or allegations, as the case may be, against your party.
It's very simple. Election is days away. We in APC will not be distracted by this falsehood being peddled all over the place, The truth is that we are focused. We have a bigger picture ahead of us. What Nigeria needs is much bigger than the Naira design flaws that we're seeing. The issues on the table are issues of job creation, issues of creating more employment opportunities for the youth, industrializing Nigeria, strengthening the value of the Naira, producing more food, exporting more goods, straightening out the revenue profile of the country, reducing the debt burden Nigeria is faced with. These are larger issues. That's what we are focused on. That's why Shoji is going about preaching to Nigerians. Let's leave all this frivolous issue of one party saying another party is buying votes. We're not deterred by that. We are campaigning. We're all over the place.
The issues are appreciated, sir.
Yeah.
But your presidential candidate was the first to raise the alarm to say that the Naira redesign and, in fact, the petrol scarcity was targeted at him.
Yeah, right.
So some interpreted it as saying that you don't want to allow me to buy votes.
No, that's not the right interpretation. The right interpretation, that's what I just told you. He feels the pains of Nigerians. He told them in Abeokuta at the rally that Nigerians should not be deterred. They want to discourage you from voting. Go out there and vote.
That's not how he said it.
That's what he said. He said the larger issue is Nigeria. No, he said it. He said if they like. Wait, he said if they like. And he's referring to marketers and others, those who are holding fuel. If they like, let them keep their fuel. Trek to the polling booths and vote. That's what he said. He said it in Yoruba. And he's appealing to Nigerians that the bigger issue is what I've just read out. How to create more jobs, how to grow this economy, how to produce more food, how to export more goods, how to strengthen the value of our Naira, how to improve the standard of living of the people, how to provide more electricity for the people so that artisans, small businesses can have power to do their work, how to build infrastructure. Those are the issues.
A quick follow-up on that one. You don't think he's referring to the issues raised by Governor El-Rufai, that there are some elements within the presidency trying to, that's actually what he was speaking to, he just didn't use the word presidency?
Ashwaji has never delved into that area. He has been very consistent. From the first day, remember that when this issue started, none of the candidates, none of them was bold enough to even make a statement about it. Everybody kept quiet. You should give it to this man. Even though we're in the same party with the ruling government, and he didn't come out to criticize the president. All he's saying is that there are third forces making life difficult for Nigerians. NNPC has said we have enough fuel in the depot, yet there are no fuel in the filling station. It's not the presidency that's doing that. CBN came and said, this is the deadline for return of the old Naira, and we're going to pump in new Naira into the system. Yet we didn't see the new Naira notes. People went to the bank and they were turned back. So these are the people Ashwaji was referring to. These are the people he calls saboteurs.
But it speaks to some concern about the relationship between your presidential candidate and Mr. President, because Mr. President is the Minister of Petroleum. The Naira redesign was approved by Mr. President. So the direct or the confrontational statements made, the concern was that he spoke to a certain sour kind of relationship that may,
not at all.
Colored the relationship.
There's unanimity of opinion all over the country that the Naira design policy is okay, but that the implementation is faulty. There's no doubt about that. Any government, many times government comes with good intention. They roll out programs and policies. By the time it goes through the bureaucratic bottlenecks and people are supposed to implement, people mess up. So that's what is happening in this particular situation. So don't make it an Ashwaji versus President Buhari issue. It's none at all. So let's focus on what we have as a problem in the nation, and let's hope that there will be improvements. Now we have the Supreme Court ruling. We have the Council of State meeting this advisory decision. So we're waiting for CBN to come out and tell us what the true situation should be going forward from today.
So
Today's Monday.
There's a question, an element of the question that we've asked you that you've not responded to.
Okay.
How is this cash crunch affecting your campaigns?
Positively. Very, very positively.
In what way?
Well, Asiwaju has spoken out. It's the first candidate to speak out. I feel the pains of Nigeria. Even yesterday, he released a press release. I feel the pains of Nigeria. I align myself with what they are going through. I urge them to be patient, to be calm. Things will improve, and hope is coming. He keeps saying that. Hope is coming. The day Asiwaju is elected as president of Nigeria, trust me, Naira crunch will disappear. Fuel scarcity will disappear. The announcement, if everybody knows that this man is going to come and solve the problems. He's a thinker. He already has solutions in his pocket. He's going to roll out. But he said that he will hit the ground running.
So the moment it lands, in a more direct way.
Yes.
Will this cash crunch ultimately deter vote buying, or will it encourage vote buying?
I don't know about vote buying. I've been in politics for over 20-something years, and I know the only way to win an election is to campaign and bring your people out to vote. If you rely on buying votes, you'll be shocked. People will collect your money, but they may not vote for you. So we're not relying on that. Right from day one, we have said it that we're going to campaign. We're going to let the people know what Asiwaju has in store for them. And at the end of the day, people will come out to vote.
Okay. Well, there are issues around the precise problems that you mentioned that your candidate wants to solve and how he wants to do it. The promises are right there, but we'll take some of that on, and I hope that my colleague Mokwe is also speaking to some of those issues. Mokwe.
Thank you very much, Ayo. It's good to see you, Mr. Pedro. A few questions. I mean, first, you've said that when your candidate comes in, if he's sworn into government, there will be no fuel scarcity, or that there will be no Naira, brouhaha. And I'm wondering, if he has the solutions already and he's keeping it to his chest rather than giving it to, sharing it with the president, perhaps the country might be saved the pain which many Nigerians are experiencing, especially with this issue of fuel scarcity.
Well, she's asking me the question. There's only one president in Nigeria at any point in time. As we speak, the president is President Muhammad Buhari. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not in government. He's not the president. He's not even a member of Council of State. He has been visited President Buhari several times during this crisis. He has offered his advice and his opinion. But the decision still lies with the president. All I'm saying is that when Asiwaju becomes president, he has his cabinet, he has his government, he makes the decision. The Central Bank of Nigeria will not be there telling Nigerians should go this way when the president wants Nigerians to go this way. So be rest assured that hope is coming. That's why I call this campaign Renewed Hope.
I guess Nigerians will make of that what they will, but I'm also very interested in the fact that you say that you in your 20-something years as a politician that you don't know anything about vote buying, and that you're talking about how you believe that votes are won. Let's take your word for it, but people are a little disturbed about what is happening or what happened in Lagos over the weekend. There have been reports of people being coerced or being threatened into voting for your party, the All Progressives Congress. There have been audio material going around saying, especially in rural communities, that if people do not have any intention of voting for the APC, they had better relocate because those communities will not be tolerant of people who want to vote other parties. I do not know if your party is aware of this and if it is also adding tolerance as part of the message that it is preaching, especially within Lagos.
Well, I'm not aware of this, but let me tell you something. Our party and its predecessors have been in power in Lagos since 1999. And we've been extremely tolerant. The governments of Lagos have also been very, very tolerant. We've never been associated with violence. And whatever violence erupted over the weekend has nothing to do with her party. You couldn't have seen any APC emblem or any APC person involved in violence in Lagos. And if there are videos and audios going all over the place about people threatening people not to vote for one party or the other, it's certainly not emanating from us. I can assure you that. We've been extremely tolerant. We've been very welcoming to people. There hasn't been any case of APC beating or killing or maiming people anywhere in Lagos. The last episode that happened in Lagos happened when PDP thugs were filmed with machetes and guns chasing people in the streets of Surulere. And this was shown on national TV. And police are already working to curtail that. But Lagos is peaceful. There will be skirmishes here and there. Let me assure the people of Lagos that we've been holding elections in Lagos for several years. There hasn't been any incidents in this election season of major violence. There have been rallies by many political parties. APC have had rallies in Lagos. PDP have had rallies in Lagos. If Labour Party's rally was disrupted by some hoodlums and thugs, the police should just take action and arrest those people who are involved. They have nothing to do with our party at all. That assurance I can give you.
Wish that, the APC, as a party can simply say that, we know nothing about it, we've been tolerant, etc., and that would settle the matter. It also just happens that the APC is the government, also has formed government of the day in Lagos, and also bear responsibility for the security and well-being of all Lagosians. If that being said, some people will say that it needs to do more than just talk. It needs to put measures in place to ensure that that there is an environment that encourages tolerance, an environment that ensures that all people are free to vote whichever party that they would want to vote in these elections. You have been in government, you're a former deputy governor. As someone who has held that office, do you think that the government is doing enough in terms of stepping up its responsibility to provide that environment for all Lagosians to vote whoever it is that they wish to vote for?
Thank you for mentioning this point. As far as I'm concerned, Lagos remains the safest place in Nigeria. It's the most peaceful state in the Federation as we speak, and the most populous state. If you are in Lagos today, there is normalcy, there is no crisis, there is peace and order, and there is security. Everybody goes about doing their businesses. You have one incident of some thugs attacking some people on the road. That doesn't mean there is no peace or security in Lagos. Be rest assured, the government of Lagos is on top of this. If you go to the streets of Lagos today, you will see police security personnel all around, particularly during campaigns. Every political party that has come to Lagos to campaign cannot say that they have been disturbed by anybody. So that incident you are referring to is an exceptional case, and I'm sure the police authorities are looking into it. The government of Lagos, headed by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is on top of security of Lagos. They've been doing a yeoman's job to ensure that the people of Lagos have this sense of security, feel secured living in Lagos. And I don't see anything to worry about. Let me assure Lagosians that parties, politicians should be free to go about their businesses, should be free to campaign. All over Lagos, you see flags of PDP, APC everywhere. You see vehicles plying the road with emblems. Nobody has experienced. What you are referring to is just an exceptional situation. It's just something that happened.
Well, Mr. Pedro,
nobody knows the source of it.
The way it is at the moment, you say the state is on top of it.
Yeah.
But people remember that the state governor didn't attend the platform's debate because they say he was not happy with what had transpired about thugs, said to have been members of a certain political party which they're investigating. And then he's spoken up about that one. People heard and saw what he did on that one. So what we get now is that at the moment, even though you say Lagos is on top of it, people haven't seen, they've not seen the kind of commensurate response to this particular narrative and scenarios being circulating at the moment. So would you, as a result of this interview now and the feedback we're getting, that people haven't seen the state government and other parties step up enough to make categorical statements about any of such violence, either those who may be acting as cronies of the party? Would you, as a member of the party and friend of the governor, reach out to him and say, look, this is the feedback we're getting, you need to make categorical statements? If it's a broadcast, so be it, but they need to speak up loud and clear and warn people that they have to be tolerant, and as you say, Lagos is friendly, so that when people see that from him, they can really and truly say, well, this is not from Lagos, then this is from extraneous parties. Would it be out of place for you to do that?
What you are describing is what the governor does every day. It's part of his work. He's the chief security officer of the state. Every opportunity he has had, he has spoken about security in Lagos. He doesn't have to pick this particular incident and make a mountain out of a molehill. It's an isolated situation. It doesn't even warrant the governor coming out to make a state broadcast. He talks about insecurity and securing Lagos every day. Just yesterday, the governor had an interactive section, a stakeholders meeting with residents of Etiosa local government. I was present there. He mentioned the issue of security. He emphasized it. It's part of his job. He does it on a daily basis. I don't see the need for him to have it. Well, that's his decision he will have to make as governor. I am not governor. All I'm just saying is that I feel secure in Lagos. Lagos is a secured place. There is no issue about insecurity during this campaign period. All parties should be free to campaign and move around. And that has always been the case with Lagos. And it will remain the case with Lagos in this election season.
But if you say,
yeah,
if you say that he does that regularly, generically about the state, but he boycotted the debate because of a particular incident, so would it be too much for him to then say, look, this is about political thugs? People are saying that they are acting as agents of the party and the state. It won't be too much for him to also address that categorically, to say, listen, this is not the case. We are watching, we will deal with this kind of scenario. He's done it before, so this will not be making a mountain out of a molehill, as you say it will be.
Well, you may be right. The incident you are referring to happened on Saturday. This is Monday morning. Any moment you can hear the governor speak about it. I will not speak for him. But I know that he's very sensitive about security. In fact, the incident you mentioned, because of the Togri incident that happened in Surulere, and he said that he's not willing to debate with PDP candidates because of that, tells you that he holds this issue very, very high on his priority list. So I will let me assure you that the governor could still speak about this matter any moment from now. But the fact remains that Lagos is a very peaceful place. It's very secured. There's nothing to worry about. The people should go about their normal businesses. And we hope not to see this kind of incident happening again, certainly.
Hopefully, and we also hope in that regard that the governor will be making a statement, reassuring residents of all local governments that they can vote by choice and not by compulsion.
Certainly.
And that their livelihoods will not be threatened.
Certainly.
Speaking of which, let's now look at your party's manifesto. And taking a look at it, there is a component which says that the security of VIPs will now be handed over to the NSCDC, and that the police will be freed of policing VIPs and government installations and all of that, which looks laudable. But then again, it seems to be silent on that all-important call for community policing. So to that extent, are we going to see, should your candidate win, a commitment to restructuring to the effect that there will be community policing, and not just that, restructuring on all other critical areas the Nigerians have been clamoring for?
If you go through the manifesto, it's very clear. he did not mince words about his intention to promote community policing. And he has said it openly at several fora, that the issue of state police is a constitutional issue. It's not something that the president can decree by fiat. But he, as president, will be in the forefront to ensure that that comes in place. Everybody in Nigeria has agreed that that is the way to go. There's no division. So we're just waiting for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to be sworn in, and he will roll out these programs to make sure that Nigerians are better secured than they had today.
You know, time isn't enough for us to take you up on so many other issues this morning. Particularly,
I wish you have enough time.
Yes, well, you're going to have to make a commitment to have an encore here, because the huge outcry of young people, especially on social media, is something that is very, very concerning. How your candidate or campaign is taking that is something one would have loved to listen to. Particularly, let me just quickly say, you know, it's just a little opportunity that I have here. Honestly, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu wants to communicate to Nigerians. Let them understand what he has in stock for them. A lot of people just say, oh, Tinubu wants to be president, you know, but he has loads and loads, basket full of ideas and programs. And that's why I keep saying that from day one, the announcement effect of his victory will make a major difference in Nigeria. And really, I wish I have time to break this thing down so that the man on the street will see how impactful his programs and policy will be. Well, that will have to come at
another time. I work with this man as my governor. I was his deputy. Asiwaju Tinubu will sit down, we start envisioning solutions to problems, and he doesn't waste time. He said it yesterday. Let me give you an example.
We are out of time, Pedro.
I wish we have time,
but we will definitely take this on some of the time.
This is not the kind of president that will sit down and roll out policies and then wait for it to manifest itself. Asiwaju goes out there to ensure it doesn't take ages for him to implement his programs.
We'll get to it. Well, Otubafemi Pedro is former Deputy Governor in Lagos State, and he is also a member of the Fundraising Directorate of the APC Presidential Campaign Council. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
My pleasure.
All the best.
Thank you.
Okay, there's more to come. Where that came from, we'll be back after now. Stay with us.